This is going to be a peek behind the scenes at the novel I'm writing now. Now, look, I'm not holding myself out as any master novelist. However, this is a video series I wish was around when I was writing my first novel. I believe by getting a glimpse of someone else's techniques and workflow, it can help you organize your own. That's my purpose here in this video series. I have heard from so many readers about how they love the characters in my Jack Nolan Detective Series that I have started writing a sixth book in the series, and that's the novel I'm starting to write now. So, just to catch up any newbies to my writing a novel in 8 layers series, I start every novel out by writing at least 4 potential storylines. Then I choose the best scenario and I start then with layer 1. With the chosen scenario, I made a list of the victim, the suspects, and all of the clues that will be needed to tell the whole crime story and to reveal the true culprit. I broke the clues and the story drama up into a 4 part story structure and laid in my scene outlines. That's where I am now. So next I will jump into Scrivener and take a look at the novel in progress. I'll show you where I am and how I proceed. Okay, so here I am in Scrivener. And as I said earlier, I have just begun the layer 4, which is down and dirty first draft. This is the hardest part of the book. So I start out with my document where I have, this is my crime spine. I have the crime, I have picked out an interesting location. I have my suspects here and all of the clues that will need to drop to point from them or to them. I have their motivations for this is going to be a murder story. And actually, I have 5 suspects in this book. I have notes on the interview. This is an interview with a neighbor from the scene of the crime. Also, clues that need to come out in a closed circuit TV video review. Notes on the forensic report, which will be coming into the story. And at the bottom here, I have notes on the subplot, which I have already divided into the 4 part story structure. So I keep this here so I can always refer back to it. Now, if you look over here on the left-hand side, I have the story broken up into parts 1, parts 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, I have story outlines that are quite detailed in part 1 and even part 2. Now, part 3, I only have sketched in 2 outlines, and I have left 4 unsketched in at all. And the reason for this is because during this initial phase of the book, this is a highly creative process. And so as I'm writing from the scene outlines to the actual first draft, the new ideas will come to me, better ideas will come to me, and so I'm free to go with them because I don't have anything written in stone down here in parts 3 and part 4. So as I come down into part 2, I can then go back to my chosen scenario, sketch in all of the changes that came up during this creative process, and then lay in more detailed scene outlines for part 3 and part 4. And so, what I like about this process is that, first of all, it prevents me from writing a whole bunch of stuff. Even an outline can be quite long, and then having to come back and change it because I had a new or a better idea. So, it prevents that. The second thing is that all of these scenes, each document is only one scene. They don't have any chapter numbers on them as yet. It's too early in the process, but I can scan up and down here and see where I am and what I have already covered. So this makes it very easy to jump in and out of the writing process. I have a very busy life, and I'm sure you all have a very busy life. And at any given time, you might be planning to write all day and something happens and you have to close it up. But by having everything laid out and organized in this fashion, it's very easy to just jump right back in. Because even if you're in the middle of a, where was that here? So even if you are in the middle of writing, like if I just had a whole bunch of dialogue here and I had already erased one and two of the scene outline, I already know that I have to pick it up at number three. So this makes it very easy to jump in and out of the work when you are interrupted and you don't have to go back and read everything to figure out where you are. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. Now, down here, I keep my book research. And like in this story, I wanted to do a little bit of research about the Appalachian Mountains. And I also needed to do some research on an area of Ocala, Florida called the Jambalaya, which is where they have expensive houses and they have landing strips behind their houses. So I have the research down here in case I need it as I'm telling the story. So, anyway, I think that is all I really wanted to cover that I will be doing in layer 4. So once I come to the end of layer 4, if I think of any other tips, I will do another video to share those tips with you. So anyway, I hope you learned something and you enjoyed the video. If you did learn anything, I would appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will leave you with a panel of all of my books that are available for purchase on Amazon.com. And I will see you in the next video.